Caitlin Clark here in the building, and it was deafening. She has become must-watch basketball here in the state of Iowa. Since she stepped her foot on campus, ticket sales have gone up 153% for prices to get in and watch her play. If you wanted to be in the building today, you had to buy your ticket 3 weeks ago. It's been sold out for that long with 15,000 people here to watch this game. It is expensive to get in the building, $149 just to get in. The biggest price was $1,100. It is must-watch basketball, but not only what Caitlin Clark has built, fellow seniors McKenna Warnock and Monica Czinano, they have made it exciting to be an Iowa Hawkeye basketball fan.
Iowa coming in 22-6, 14-3 in the Big Ten. Indiana at 26-1, winning their first Big Ten title in 40 years. Big Ten regular season crown and a 14-game winning streak coming in at one loss way back on December 29th against Michigan State.
And that was when Grace Berger, their starting point guard, was out with injury. A part of the season where Chloe Moore McNeil was really able to grow in her confidence when she led the team from the point guard spot.
Indiana, big chip on his shoulder coming in anyway this season, losing to Iowa 3 times last year, so they made up for that. Indiana wins the opening tip. And we are underway in front of a packed house.
And you see Iowa starting out in man-to-man. They will switch their defenses throughout the game, and Indiana looking right away to get Mackenzie Holmes a touch inside. Look at the attention Holmes gets on the block when she catches Dave.
Moore McNeil on the drive. Shot clock down to 5. Here's Berger to let fly. Got it to go.
Grace Berger loves the mid-range game, and there you see Chloe Moore McNeil. As soon as Indiana scores, her #1 job is to find Caitlin Clark and bother Caitlin Clark the entire time down the floor.
So in game number 1, as we know by now, Clark had a big game with 35 points, took a lot of shots, but also turned the ball over 8 times.
Well, she's the player who has to get everyone involved, the player with the ball in her hands a lot. So yes, it's going to be important for her.
Her first one of the day, got it from three-point land. So she's off to a terrific start.
The first time these teams played, it was a fun up and down matchup. Both teams shooting the ball really well, in particular in the first half.
And isn't that fun when teams can really score and really shoot it? Their numbers are almost identical in many categories. Parrish on the baseline and a scrap for that. Iowa comes away with the basketball. On the drive, Martin. And it'll go down. The seniors also very good from three-point territory. Get inside for 2.
And you see both teams are looking to push the pace.
There's an off target there, but she's hitting an eye-popping 47% beyond the three-point line. Marshall on the wing. Inside for 2. Well, you talk about shooting percentages, she makes 67%. And like the crowd needed to get louder, they're off to a 7-2 start. Long range, and that's off the back iron by Parrish. Clark in transition. Will kick it. Martin hits it from three-point land. What a start for Iowa against the #2 team in the country.
We've come to expect this from Caitlin Clark. If there's a little bit of space, she is going to drain it. But it's not just Clark on the outside. Monica Czinano handling it in. And when Caitlin Clark draws all that attention, her perimeter players need to hit as well.
Back live here at Iowa. 10-2 start for the Hawkeyes. And a 10-0 run for Iowa that came over 1 minute and 24 seconds. That's like the blink of an eye.
Coming out of that timeout, Iowa in a zone defense, but it doesn't change what they're doing on the offensive end.
McKenna Warnock absolutely bottoms out a three. Well, they're very dangerous beyond that line, even beyond Caitlin Clark. 13-2. And this crowd into every second. Tough catch, more McNeil underneath.
And a really nice job against that zone for Mackenzie Holmes to turn, find the open teammate, cutting to the lane.
Iowa, the top scoring team, 88 points per game. And looking like they're on all cylinders out of the gate. They're 5 for 5, 3 for 3 beyond the three-point line.
That's all cylinders.
I would say so. Here's Clark, right around the logo where she lives. And getting the turnover back to Berger in transition. She had a huge game when they met the first time. Clark, no shot there. They'll swing it. Martin open. Iowa off to a very, very quick start here. A 13-6 lead for the Hawkeyes, who had a 10-0 run in the blink of an eye to jump out in front. Dave O'Brien, Rebecca Lobo, and Holly Rowe with you. And now the Hawkeyes with a turnover. They came in as the number 6 team in the country, Indiana number 2.
Iowa has had success early in this game, getting stops and doing this. Watch how fast Caitlin Clark pushes the ball up the floor.
And always more than one body on her at a time. A tangle and a foul, a whistle here. 5:31 to go in the first. And a foul will go against the Hawkeyes. That's on Warnock. The 6'1" senior picks up the personal.
Iowa is so good offensively when they have space, and they get that in particular when they're out in transition. Where have their turnovers come so far? Trying to force it into the paint. Indiana in a man-to-man, but doing a good job helping off and clogging inside.
Well, the first meeting was on February 9th in Bloomington. It was pulsating in front of a record crowd of about 13,000. That game had 14 lead changes, 11 ties. And that jumper will go. And looking for Mackenzie Holmes to really start to get rolling. The senior's had a spectacular career, 23-7. That's her average coming into this one. Martin with the bounce. Got it in the lane and a whistle on the play. Stokey will take the hit and head to the line, which is not necessarily a great thing for the freshman. She makes only about 47%. Parrish with the personal.
One of the things Lisa Bluter told us this morning was she understands how important Mackenzie Holmes is, and while that foul wasn't on Holmes, they're going to look to get the ball in the paint, attack her, see if they can get her into a little bit of foul trouble in this game.
Stokey, Iowa Gatorade High School Player of the Year out of Washington High over in Cedar Rapids. She is 6'2".
I love the way this young freshman plays. She runs the floor so well. This is the area of her game, however, where she really needs to improve, and that's at the line.
Any sign of jitters early on? You played in so many big games in front of crowds like this on national television, but you've got two teams that know how to play in this environment.
Yeah, I think Iowa right now is feeding off it. The question is, can they sustain it as this first quarter continues to go on?
Clark, there she goes again. Yes! They talk about range. It's limitless for her.
Dave, there's just no one like her. No one like her in the women's game, college or pro.
The comparisons to Steph Curry keep on coming, don't they? And they are legit when you talk about the range. Across midcourt, she is in shooting range. In transition, Martin, nice move there, and takes the hit as well. Kate Martin, she's been a real factor early here.
This is why you have to guard Caitlin Clark even before she crosses half court. What's that, about 26 feet? When she's going to her left and in rhythm, she's going to drain it, and it energizes the crowd and her team. And what else can she do? Pass the basketball.
the author of 9 career triple-doubles, 35 points in the first game with Indiana, along with 10 assists. And one of, if not the leading player of the year candidate. She's got more games of 25 points than anybody this season. That's 14 times and counting. It's just a legendary career. Martin for the three-point play and knocks it down. She has 8. We're talking about Kate Martin, the senior. And Caitlin Clark out of West Des Moines, Iowa. I don't know how you practice against somebody with that kind of shooting ability.
Neither do I. You get a guy on the scout team and just say, pretend you can make those consistently, and we'll see if we can guard you.
Right. Berger beyond the 3. Great passer as well. Slams on the brakes. Or McNeil. Berger takes a stumble in the lane and a whistle there with 3:48 to go in the first. And we're talking about shooting range. If we can graphic that for you, the average three-pointer for 26 plus, the longest in Division I.
I mean, to understand that the three-point line is 22, so 4 feet behind.
Berger with a pull-up pop. Yes. She was superb in game 1 against Iowa. She had 26 along with 9 rebounds and 6 assists and has half a dozen early.
The queen of the mid-range. Paul Pierce, her favorite NBA player. It's why she wears that number she does.
Here's Clark to launch. Got a good clean look. Sonano had it taken away. Or McNeil gets it off for Berger. She wants to push it. Chloe Moore McNeil with a kick out and a long one coming. And yes, Garzon, the 6'3" freshman from Israel.
Yeah, great job and decision by Moore McNeil, because she could have pulled from 3 herself, but instead the penetrating kick to their best three-point shooter.
Davis will set it up. Lisa Bluter on the sideline. In her 38th year as a head coach. Up and in for 2. Stokey, I know you really like her game, and that's one reason why. She's strong.
Yeah, she's a powerful player, and she just sprints the floor hard every time, puts pressure on the defense in transition.
21-13 Iowa. Looking to knock off the number 2 team in the country. Holmes, yes. Sweet turnaround. She has 9 double-doubles this season.
How about Mackenzie Holmes, though, stretching it out a little bit? We're used to seeing her do most of her work within 4 or 5 feet of the basket.
You guys were great with her on game day today. Into the paint and a tie up there. Possession arrow will keep it on this end of the floor. We were talking about the great job she does getting deep in the lane.
Yeah, she does. And here, every time she's gotten touches inside or post up inside, she's getting a lot of defensive attention. That's a little bit of a change from the first time these teams played. So what do you do if you can? You step out, give yourself a little bit of room.
Martin off to a quick start as that shot deflected. Good defense there by Garzon. Scalia outside. She can be a dangerous scorer. Recently at 24 against Ohio State. Whistle there. With 1:51 to go in the quarter. Count that basket.
So you get the catch and quick turn, and Sonano right there barely gets her on the arm. That's why, though, it's so important offensively to be able, as a post player, to score right or left.
Moves to the line. Sonano with number 1. Let's go to Holly.
Well, it took Mackenzie Holmes some time to get going in this game. Her first field goal wasn't until 5 minutes left in the quarter. And her coach in their last huddle said, "You've got to go to work, Mac. They're making it hard." Last time she was in the lane trying to post up 3 white jerseys around her. And so she has drifted out, as you said, Rebecca. But right now she's got to get a new contact lens in there. She's trying to go to work if she can see.
And that's a change, Holly, from the first time these teams played. There wasn't as much defensive attention sent to Mackenzie Holmes, and she's certainly getting it today. Iowa saying, all right, we would rather have you pass it out for a lower percentage shot than take one from inside where you're shooting 69.
How about this run? Most consecutive games, 50% or better. Big Ten over the last 20 years. And a three-point play for Holmes. Indiana's made their last 4. So they're on a 10-2 run. They're down 11 very quickly. Battle for the rebound, and that'll go the other way. Well, our big Monday women's basketball matchup inside the Big 12. Number 19, Texas hosting Baylor in Austin. The 12-3 Longhorns tie with Oklahoma for first in the conference. Coverage beginning at 7 Eastern on ESPN2 and the app. Caitlin Clark, a little breather here at the very end of the first. Nice job here by the Hoosiers regrouping. And for the moment, they've quieted this gigantic crowd. Shot clock down to 10. Maura McNeil took a look. Now down to 6. She'll fire a long one and around and out. Iowa and Indiana, remarkably similar stat lines. Iowa 51% shooting, Indiana 50% over the course of the season. They both make 37% from 3. They both hit 75% at the foul line. In the lane, a little short jumper, and that won't drop for Davis. There's zone using the screen. Got a real good look, but couldn't finish it. Under half a minute to go in the first quarter. Davis looking to make a move. Marshall on the fake. Shot clock a factor now. It's at 8. Davis, and a foul here by Berger. Bit of a bailout there. She picks up number 1.
One of the big things when Caitlin Clark is out of the game, she's coming back in now. You notice how much more time comes off the shot clock?
Yes.
How many more times Iowa has to switch sides of the floor to try to get an open look? 12 seconds left, though. You get your big guns back out here. Clark and Sonano.
Berger, by the way, picking up number 2. Last seconds of the quarter. In for Clark. Trying to make a move on the drive. Gets it in. Maura McNeil will dribble out the final seconds of the quarter, so it ends on an uptick for Iowa. It certainly started that way with a burst for the Hawkeyes right out of the gates.
We've come to see the Stars play today. Mackenzie Holmes getting it done efficiently as always for Indiana. And Caitlin Clark draining from 3 as well.
This exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Wendy's 2 for $6. The best deal in fast food. Underway here in the second. Great to have you alongside. Rebecca Lobo-Dave-O'Brien and Holly Rowe. Jumper coming, and that's going to be in and out by Scalia, but tough rebound underneath, batted away. Once again controlled by the Hoosiers as they crash the glass and trail at 23-18. Holmes draws the double. Parrish through the lane for 2.
Really good job attacking the defense that was in rotation because of the double team on Holmes.
Sydney Parrish has had some big games. She had 24 against North Carolina, 18 and 7 against Penn State, so she can show up. Here's Martin, who's off to a hot start and continues with a triple. She's got 11 points.
Kate Martin has been in a little bit of a shooting slump after starting the season on fire from 3, and vitally important because of the attention Caitlin Clark gets for her wing players to be able to hit from 3.
One of the 5 returning starters from a year ago. Scalia on the money. Recently had a 24-point game against Ohio State.
What do you think so far of the efficiency we're seeing in terms of shooting in this game?
I think you have to love it. If you're a basketball vet, Clark, look at this move. Little give and go in the paint. Yes! That's dazzling. So it's not just about being able to shoot it from half court.
Pass and then the beautiful cut in order to get it back.
I think your word is perfect. Efficiency. And it's delightful to watch. 28-23. There's zone. Scalia again. Off the back of that iron. Iowa on top by 5. Martin's really feeling it. And close, but can't convert.
Especially for Indiana with Grace Berger on the bench with 2 fouls. So important for them to stay as attached as they can, play through Mackenzie Holmes. She needs to see the weak side.
Needs some help. Threw it away. Picked up by Clark. In transition, Marshall, yes. Big time pressure by the Hawkeyes. Or McNeil gets a look. Yes.
They miss Grace Berger. They miss Grace Berger on the floor right now to settle everything down for them.
She's at the table ready to check back in. Indiana forces the turnover. Parrish on the bounce feed. Scalia, yes. Well run break. So there's Grace Berger getting ready to come back on with a couple of fouls.
This is a tough, experienced Indiana team, though. A couple times when Iowa has made their runs, what's happened? Indiana has answered.
Indiana 9-0 against top 25 opponents. Long range and around and out, picked off by Scalia. Garzone will back it out. Shot clock at 15. Calling Holmes up for a screen. Iowa's defense has been suffocating, but that time Moore McNeil beat it.
I like the decision, though. Bring Mackenzie Holmes out, get her in on-ball action, maybe get her on the roll on a move where it's a little tougher to double her.
Clark decides not to shoot it. And then she took 28 shots in the first meeting, while scoring 35. Chloe Moore McNeil got a really good open look. Czinano with another rebound. She averages 6 and 17 points a game. Here's Clark way downtown. They'll get a second effort. Orlock thought about the drive. 5:37 to go here in the first half. Martin again to penetrate. And draws the contact.
Caitlin Clark with a beautiful cut. We see the pass, but it's the cut that gets her open and then dances around until she gets the easy look. And then as soon as the ball's in her hands, her head is up. She is one of the best up-ahead passers in terms of transition in the women's college game.
Well, she was voted ESPN's mid-season player of the year. She's the reigning Big Ten player of the year. Many more honors obviously to come. Meanwhile, Cade Martin at the line, 82%. We see Berger in the contest again, playing with the 2 fouls.
And Martin was able to get a great look because Czinano, when the double team came, looked opposite wing out. That's what Mackenzie Holmes has not been able to do when she's gotten doubled, is find the open player on the opposite wing.
Berger, terrific with a basketball. Holmes trying to muscle away, and that's a traveling violation.
And a great job that time, Iowa switching it up defensively. Holmes gets it, expecting the double team. It doesn't come, and it bothers her rhythm.
So 32-29 Iowa. Indiana with just 3 turnovers so far. Clock catches, fires, and swishes.
Great decision. Moore McNeil out of the game. She's Clark's primary defender. You set a screen for her off the ball to get an open look.
Whistle here. Just when you think that Caitlin Clark is maybe off to a bit of a soft start, you look up, she's got 13 points. That doesn't take very long.
Who thought she had a soft start? Caitlin Clark doing it all this time off of the off-ball screen. Drains it. No shrug, but we see you, Caitlin.
Well, Caitlin Clark starting to get going. But you talk about the passes, passing ahead in transition, how gifted she is.
Yeah, she's the best transition get-ahead passer in terms of assists that we've seen perhaps since Sue Bird. And you see it here. She corrals the ball No dribbles, puts it right on the money, so her teammate only needs one dribble, Gabby Marshall, in order to score inside. When you think of greatness in terms of that, you think of Sue Bird, Diana Taurasi, Courtney Vandersloot, and then, to me, Caitlin Clark.
Well, Holmes once again drawing all sorts of pressure and lost the basketball. So Indiana kicks it back to the Hawkeyes. Indiana with a 14-game winning streak on the line. Clark on a penetration and a whistle. And she hit the deck. And a little bit slow to rise, but on her feet. Came up looking at her hand. And Moore McNeil with the foul, number 1. So Clark will go to the line, 84%. Talk about games against the top 25 and stepping up against the best opponent. This is unbelievable.
And whether it's top 25, whoever they're playing, of course the game plan when you go against Iowa is to slow down Caitlin Clark as much as you can. Nobody's been able to do it.
Let's go to Holly.
Well, guys, she grew up playing against boys. She said she played in the boys' league until she was in 4th grade. She said, I learned to play against bigger, stronger, more physical players, but she was actually the MVP of that boys' league. She said that's where she gets a little bit of her swagger from, her toughness from, and she said she finally had to switch over to girls basketball when it was getting too tough. She has retained some of that toughness and personality that she learned with the boys as a little kid.
You know, playing against the practice player guys every day in practice, and we called the Iowa game earlier this season where we got to watch practice, and the way she talks trash to those guys and just competes with them, it's awesome.
Oh, you can tell there's tremendous confidence in all parts of her game. Inside that 3-point line, but a miss. Iowa's gotten a big first half out of Kate Martin. Crowd wanted to travel there. Holmes inside where she lives and breathes.
Really good job corralling the basketball as Clark came over to help.
Holmes with 9. Came in averaging 23.7 rebounds. Sonato gives it up. Here's Clark off the front iron.
I thought they had a couple opportunities to get the ball into Stolke inside.
Moore McNeil through the paint and a foul. And Chloe Moore McNeil will be at the line, but she's 85%. Our final Big Monday doubleheader before Champ Week coming your way. North Carolina on the wrong side of the bubble right now, according to Joe Lunardi. Take on FSU at 7 Eastern. And then it's Baylor and Oklahoma State in Stillwater. Both games right here on ESPN and the app.
Well, Chloe Moore McNeil has had a fantastic season. She said the reason she's improved so much is her confidence. She's getting an opportunity and she's shining. She's from a very small town, Sharon, Tennessee. She said she's doing everything she can to make sure that her 3 little sisters have a great quality of life. She's looking to become an ultrasound tech, and she's taking some really tough classes right now. Chemistry, let's see, what was the other one? Human movement. She is taking a full academic load, and this is just an amazing young lady that's coming to her own this season.
1.5 turnovers a game. She plays 33 minutes a game.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Jumper on the way. That won't drop for Stolke. Indiana with an opportunity here to take the lead on this possession late in the second quarter. Berger with a jump pass. Shot clock at 8. Berger got it.
That's her spot, and I like the decision. Instead of forcing one early, understanding how much time is on the shot clock, working around to get an equally good shot.
First time Indiana has the lead since it was 2-0. So less than 2 to go before halftime. Clark on the way. No. Second effort here for the Hawkeyes. Warnock gives it up. Clark dishing underneath. What a great pass. And a finish by Warnock.
Anytime you play with a player who can get you wide open layups, it's a good thing. Okay, McKenna Warnock. That one was easy.
That vision is off the charts for number 22 for the Hawkeyes. In the lane, and a whistle here with 1:22 on the clock.
What a fun back and forth we've had so far in this game. Both teams shooting over 50%. Grace Berger, the queen of the mid-range, and then it doesn't come easier than this off of a beautiful dime from Caitlin Clark.
So Garzone at the line, and coming up, the Jeep halftime report with Elle and Dre and CP. By the way, you guys were phenomenal on game day. That was an entertaining show, and the crowd was so into it, like I've never seen, really.
Yeah, the crowd here was phenomenal, and how they were lined up an hour before game day started. They brought the energy the entire time. It's been so much fun here in Iowa.
It's a great broadcast. Getting us ready for this one. Indiana leading it by 1. And Scalia back on, 5'10" senior out of Minnesota. Indiana early on had their problems, but they've come roaring back in this one.
Look at the attention you see. Zanotto getting inside, surrounded.
Clark outside the 3. Warnock will swing it. Falter will shoot that one, but it's going to be off the iron. Under a minute to go before the break. And you can feel a little more momentum here swinging in Indiana's favor approaching halftime. Having a tough time getting it to Holmes, but she'll draw the double, swinging through it, and left it short.
That time the double team did come as soon as she put the ball on the floor.
So Iowa trying to retake the lead. Lisa Bluder putting a play on.
That was an interesting stomping her foot with the horns in the air, right?
Have to know the genesis of that. 5 to get off a shot. They want Clark to touch it. Clark with a runner, banks it in. All variety of shots. Time for a heave here. Berger with an opportunity, gets it up and away, but it won't go. And at halftime, it's exactly the game we anticipated in so many ways, with Iowa leading by 1, 40-39. Indiana briefly had the lead back, but the Hawkeyes in front of this raucous crowd will go to the locker room on top by 1. Let's go to Holly.
Well, Coach, you got out to such a hot start. How did they start to come back? What are you wary of right now?
Well, I mean, their defense is so good. I mean, they're all over our ball handlers, and really, it's a physical game, and we've got to be able to withstand that physical play.
Some of that physical plays in the post. How do you get Monica more touches, just 2 points in this first half?
Yeah, we need to get her more touches. I think we're doing a pretty good job on Holmes, though. Doing a good job with that. Caitlin has done a good job for us. You know, it's going to be a heck of a second half for sure.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Holly.
Holly, thanks. It was a heck of a first half. Really looking forward to the second. Iowa and Indiana with another half to come. Let's go to Elle. As we get set for the second half here at Iowa, this is the Big Ten Conference on ESPN. Indiana lost only 1 game all season long. The Hawkeyes have one of the great players in the country. In fact, both sides loaded with outstanding players who are really playing like stars in the first half.
I mean, what an incredibly well-played first half. Both teams shooting 52%. And, of course, when you're going to be doing an Iowa game, you're talking about Caitlin Clark, a phenomenal get-ahead pass to Gabby Marshall, one of her 6 assists in that half. And then that deep pull-up 3. Clark was 16 points after 20 minutes, and for Indiana, they had the balance on the inside and out. Mackenzie Holmes, really good finishing, efficient, 4 of 5 from the floor, and Grace Berger with that patented mid-range pull-up. Those two were really effective in the first half.
So second half on the way, but in the first half, I thought Kate Martin was an unsung hero. Actually, we sung her praises quite a bit. 13 points.
She was a sung hero.
Yes. Score by quarter there. You saw Iowa get off to the quick start. Indiana closing the gap. And on threes, Iowa 6 out of 14. Indiana just 2 for 11. Let's go to Holly Rowe.
Well, talking to Indiana coach Terry Morin, they want to get Mackenzie Holmes more active in making quicker decisions. She's getting double teamed and she's just being tentative out of those double teams. Chloe McNeil's player is coming off of her to double Holmes in the post. They said they've got to make a quicker decision to pass out to Chloe or make her the diver. So quicker decisions, not so tentative for Mackenzie Holmes here in the second half.
Yeah, we saw it late in the second quarter. There was one time where they had Moore McNeil dive to the basket, and I think she got to the free throw line on that possession.
Clark on the baseline off the hesitation and hits the deck and draws the whistle. So that's how the second half starts.
And Holly, to revisit that with Mackenzie Holmes, Iowa did such a good job of sometimes doubling, sometimes not, sometimes waiting for her to put the ball on the floor. You just want to keep a post player a little bit off balance when they catch inside.
They're going to get Holmes for number 2. Her second foul as Clark buries the first one. And makes the pair. 42-39.
There's the dive by Moore McNeil.
The swing for Parrish, letting fly. I'll tell you what, Moore McNeil, you got to know where she is every time she's on the floor, because any loose ball, she's going to close on that. Clark just picked up her first foul.
The last set was really good by Indiana. On-ball screen by Mackenzie Holmes. Roll to the basket. When she got the ball and Moore McNeil cleared out, there went all of your help side. She still made the pass out of it.
Berger to put it in. Indiana winning their first Big Ten title in 40 years. The only loss came to Michigan State, and Berger did not play in that game. He's out with a knee injury at that time. Shot clock is down to 3. Berger will fire it up. Clark pushing the tempo. Here's Warnock. Not there from three-point land. Berger to the lane, slamming on the brakes. Moore McNeil, short jumper, no. Both sides cold right away. Clark with a scoop, went right to the cup for 2. And give her 18. Actually 20 now.
Great job by Caitlin Clark bobbing and weaving in there, but also Czinano to keep Mackenzie Holmes on her back to give Clark the clear lane.
Holmes had it off the hand. On the turnover. Here's Martin in the paint. Drops in 2. Caitlin Clark is urging this big crowd to get even louder. (46-39). Berger with that mid-range. Boy, that's her shot, but that one won't drop. Iowa unable to convert. Czinano with the miss. Here's Parrish. She drops in a 3.
So important for Indiana to be able to spread the D, to be able to hit from the outside. Only 3 of 13 on the day from 3. But on the season, they shoot 37%, so you would expect them to shoot better here in the second half.
4-point game and a whistle. That's a heck of a battle. Moore McNeil trying to contain Clark.
We know Clark is so good from deep, but she's also good with the penetration. Look right there, Czinano keeps Holmes on her high side, so it's an easy lay for Clark. Give the big girl some credit on that one.
Little contact there. Clark just bounces off that, drops it in, and she'll go to the line. And look at the emotion from the Player of the Year candidate. That's suppressing a grin there.
as she gets to the free throw line. Not a lot of contact there, but a lot of fire.
More McNeil with number 3, incidentally. Clark looking for another three-point play. Not this time. More McNeil with 8 points, but 3 personals. His own gave it up off the baseline. Parrish, the Oregon transfer, came back home to play for the Hoosiers. That's a tough angle by More McNeil. On a run out, Marshall wide open.
She's been shooting the 3 really well lately, though, so that's a good shot for Gabby Marshall to take there.
And on the year, 39%. She had 5 threes in that loss to Maryland.
Last 6 games, she's been shooting 63% from 3.
And a whistle off the ball. That was with 11 on the shot clock. Czinano will pick up her second.
It's really physical between Czinano and Mackenzie Holmes inside.
I think the officials, I were talking about at halftime, have done a good job letting them go, letting them play.
Yes.
Czinano will step out. And the Stulke back on now. Jesse Dickerson, Natasha Kemi, and Mark Resch, the officials today. Three will not fall, and Iowa on the move. Warnock with the dish. And that's a travel on Marshall. So they'll give it back in our Big Monday women's basketball matchup inside the Big 12. Number 19, Texas taking on Baylor. That's in Austin. Longhorns 12-3 to conference, tie with Oklahoma for first. Coverage beginning at 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2 and the app.
You just did a promo for the Big 12. When we were talking to Carrie Moore this morning, she called her conference the Big. You think the Big 10 owns the rights to the Big?
Might rub them the wrong way, you're right. Here's Zone with a miss, but a whistle and a foul on the deck. And the crowd doesn't like this at all.
Kate Martin is furious. She is furious.
Martin, who has had a big impact on this one. Take a look.
She's boxing out, boxing out. Yeah, that's a really tough one. Unless early, because she had her arms behind her, but that to me looked like a really solid box out.
So that's going to be 4.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, 3.
And it takes her out of the aim.
She comes out on the swing. Holmes can't convert. 48-42. Clark. Oh, he's so wary about her stopping way outside that three-point line, but that's going to be swished in. Nothing but net by Warnock. She can hit that shot. 41% from 3. Into the paint. A lot of contact and 2, and count that. She'll be at the line.
One thing about Indiana in particular this year is the size they have at the guard spot allows them to get in the paint and finish shots like that. McKenna Warnock stepping out, draining the 3, holding the pose. We got a good one here in Iowa City.
Well, the last time Indiana won the Big Ten title was in 1983, and a lot's happened since then. Mario Brothers just came out. Think how far Mario and Luigi have come since then. The very first mobile phone was introduced by Motorola. Yeah, you know how far we've come since that. Cabbage Patch Dolls first came on the market and became a worldwide sensation. And how about the best-selling album was Thriller, the top movie Return of the Jedi? Yeah, it has been a long time since Indiana won a Big Ten championship. That puts a little perspective on it.
For some of us, Holly, that was just yesterday. That feels pretty darn current. How about that for a mobile phone? There was nothing mobile about that phone.
No, there wasn't. Can I just say that that poster, that Return of the Jedi poster, is hanging somewhere in my house? I'm not kidding. I have a 14-year-old son.
Yeah, that's vintage stuff.
Yes, it is. I think it's also hanging probably in the houses of some 30-year-olds.
50-year-olds.
50-year-olds, there you go.
Warnock trying to go to work. Right into a red wall there and denied. Great defense by Holmes. And got the block. Now they will swing it. Or McNeil, sweet from three-point range.
Yeah, they needed that one too. She needed that one. She was 0 for 3 before attempting that shot. Sometimes it gives you a little bit of boost of confidence to see one go through.
Again, Indiana has beaten every single top 25 foe they've faced this year. 9-0. Iowa coming in ranked number 6. Indiana number 2. And Holmes with a rebound. Now, if Iowa wins, they're the 2 seed in the Big Ten tournament. If they lose, they're going to be the number 3 seed. So still something on the line.
Yes.
Indiana working around the perimeter. Guy, that's a very tough shot. That won't drop. Clark has it knocked away from behind. No foul on the play.
Indiana 25% today from 3, 4 of 16. This is so important. Holly Rowe talked about the double team coming off of Chloe Moore McNeil. She needs to make them pay when she gets those open looks.
Holly, some atmosphere in here today. It's been incredible.
It's been incredible, and the Iowa fans have done a great job. But not only that, we've got about 40 fans from supporting the Hoosiers. They've come all the way from Mason City, Iowa, because Sheffield's mom was smart enough to get tickets before it sold out. This game sold out about 3 weeks in advance, and so her mom was smart. Amy, who played at Valparaiso, she got the tickets early, and there's about 40 Hoosier fans way up in the top section, but they're representing as loud as they can.
Sydney Parrish's mom. Just a little pocket of red up there. A little tiny pocket of red. But loud. We can hear him from time to time.
A little tiny pocket's better than no pocket at all, Dave O'Brien.
Definitely. Clark. Oh, shit. Everybody. And the foul, too. What a cagey play.
And Caitlin Clark will say a little bit of light is better than no light at all. And she gets it here on this drive. As Martin's going up through the screens, bringing the defender with her. Oh, cradles the basketball and finishes.
Holmes with number 3. Yeah, the three-point play to make it 54-48. With these games, 15 of them, 25, 5, and 5. Nobody else even close. That is number 1 in Division I. Holmes, by the way, scoreless in the quarter. Berger with a misfire. All the momentum belongs to the Hawkeyes right now. Will it keep on coming? It will. Mark from the corner. She shook off that foul and drops in a long one. Moore McNeil with an answer from three-point land.
Big time answer. Big time answer. You get all the folks in black and gold sitting back down in their seats with that one.
Martin with a bounce. And a whistle. Sonano got hit with 2:18 to go in the quarter.
That one transition, Iowa, so dangerous. Clark with her head up. Kate Martin goes out to the shooter's corner and able to drain it. But you know what's just as important to me was the nice, beautiful wraparound pass inside by Martin to her big.
I know you love the assist, but that's number 4 on Chloe Moore McNeil. That's huge. She has to step out.
When she got her third, they took her off the primary responsibility of defending Caitlin Clark, but she is their best perimeter defender. She has been very important and impactful here in the third quarter, making shots from 3. That is huge.
Yeah, just hit a couple of back-to-back triples. Iowa opens it up a little bit now. 59-51. Indiana has won 14 straight games. Berger sweeping into the paint. And 2.
Man, she's tough, huh?
Yes.
Unflappable, just gets in there and answers when they need her to answer.
Kind of seeks out a little contact.
Well, look at her frame. She is one strong woman.
Holmes grabbing the rebound. Kenzie Holmes with the staggering statistic of making 69% of her shots. She gets the ball a lot right there and will draw the foul and head to the line with 1:39 left in the third. Czinano with the personal. Clark back on after a brief rest.
You wonder if they'll send a sub for Czinano just to close out the last 1:39 of this quarter without her picking up a fourth. And I will continue to wonder because it's not happening.
Left to wonder. Holmes 70% at the foul line.
Dave, you mentioned Holmes shooting 69%. She has not shot under 50% in a single game all season long.
That's ridiculous.
It's so hard to do.
It's ridiculous. I see numbers like that. You know, great players do great things. Some of them are greater than others. And that's just, you can make 70% or close to 70% of your shots. You're in a different league.
For sure.
Parrish got knocked down. It has got physical. Marshall will swing it. Czinano goes back outside. Martin, who's had a hot day, gave it up that time. Got a good look. That shot by Warnock doesn't drop. And approaching a minute to play in the quarter.
Go to Holmes. Try to get another foul on Monika Czinano.
Berger again to her right and two more.
Yeah, she's really good for a guard in terms of back to the basket scoring.
14 for her. So this is a three-point game. Off the back iron. Indiana crashing the glass. Arizona came away with it. Berger heating up. You can tell she's seeking the basketball. Through the lane, had to save it.
Get it to Holmes.
On command, she'll work to her right, and yes.
Right, you put not only Monika Czinano in a tough defensive position, but that could have been probably called a foul as well.
Put her right on her hip. 1-point game. And a game that has totally lived up to all the hype. Clark off the window and a foul, a blocking foul.
She has gotten a couple of favorable whistles on the dribble penetration, and this time she goes down. Doesn't look like there's a ton of contact, but finds her way to the free throw line.
She has 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists.
I don't have to wonder anymore. Czinano out, Stuelke in.
Hitting the bench here with just a few seconds left. 3.8 in the quarter. Clark with 35 the first time they met, along with 10 assists, but she's looking for a different ending. First one went 87-78 Indiana.
She's going to get an extra 3.8 seconds of rest going into the quarter break.
Tell you, she is a very tough player too. She spends a lot of time down on the floor getting knocked around. Just an incredible talent. Was at a legendary career. Here's Berger to heave it, and that's the end of the third. That sets up a dynamite fourth, 61-58. Harrison is made pretty often. Steph Curry and Caitlin Clark, the shooting range, the uber confidence, the ability to stick it from anywhere on the court, inside half court. And the two of them together are able to play the outside and inside game. As long as you're open, they're going to find you as well. And a little swagger as well between these two. Our ESPN NBA Sunday doubleheader starting with the Warriors taking on the Timberwolves at 7:30, 4:30 Pacific. That's followed by the Clippers taking on the Western Conference leading Nuggets. Coverage tipping off at 7 o'clock Eastern with NBA Countdown as we get the fourth quarter underway and anybody's game. It's been exactly what we anticipated in this highly touted game.
guys, in that last Iowa huddle, Lisa Bluter just reset everything for her team. She reminded them they've got 4 timeouts here. Use one to avoid a turnover. Then she challenged them to do better on the boards, boxing out, and turn up the heat on Grace Berger. They think that number 34 is getting too hot. Got a special defense in just to contain Grace Berger right now.
Caitlin Clark with 29. Iowa on top, 63-58. Parrish can hit that one from way downtown, but not here. Holmes does a good job popping up the rebound right to herself. Marshall tips it out for Iowa, so it'll be Indiana ball.
And we've seen Caitlin Clark take it all the way to the basket. We've seen the deep 3 in here, just a beautiful little floater off the glass as well. There's not a whole lot offensively that she can't do.
You wonder, is this game going to come down to a Caitlin Clark jump shot in the final seconds in front of this great crowd? Holmes weaving in for 2.
Looked like Iowa lacked a couple of possessions in that zone defense, and Berger does a great job attacking it and finding an open teammate.
Marshall sticks it. Gabby Marshall, senior from Cincinnati. And up to 6 for the Hawkeyes. Berger surrounded. Parrish open. Yes.
Indiana has shooters, and they have shooters with size. Sydney Parrish, 6'2". Yarden Garzone, 6'3". So it's hard to limit their vision when they catch and get an open field for a 3.
Parrish also a very good rebounder. Clark with a one-hander off the backboard. And continues to pile on the points. She's got 31. Berger went right through Holmes. The open shooter is Scalia. And a whistle along the baseline.
How about a 30-piece? Is it a 30-piece these days or a 30-burger for Caitlin Clark? Well, she's got it right now with still almost 8 minutes to go in this one.
Cade Martin with foul number 4. So that's 32 career games with 30 or more. Martin to the bench. Berger swishes that one in. That mid-range game is a sight to behold for her.
I guess it'll be a 30-piece for Caitlin Clark, and whatever Grace Berger gets would be a whatever burger.
Right. Falter lets fly. No. Again, just 3 points separating these two. Laura McNeil's playing with 4. Parrish, another touch. Not this time.
Yeah, you wonder if they're going to get out of this zone, though, Iowa, because Indiana's gotten some great looks from the perimeter.
Clark with a turnover. Berger. And a foul here inside with 6:56 to go. Caitlin Clark, the 6-foot junior, with a 31-point game to this point, just picked up foul number 2. Molly Davis back on now for the Hawkeyes. Iowa, by the way, defeated the only team to beat Indiana all season long, as Michigan State. East Lansing won that one in overtime, 84-81. Garzone drops in the first one.
Garzone's had a bit of a quiet game on the offensive end, 1 for 6 from the floor. Now 6 points, but she's been impressive. She's had some really impactful moments on the defensive end with her size, helping, rebounding.
Oh, you're right, 10 rebounds.
Yeah. Just a freshman. She is one of those players that you look forward to seeing what she's going to become in the next couple of years.
Really hits the 3 when she gets going. So this is a 1-point affair. Here's Clark, long one, too strong. The occasions where she does miss a shot like that, she'll often drop her hands and stare at them like, I can't believe it.
How did you fail me?
McNeil denied in the lane. Parrish is open again and drills another 3. And that puts Indiana on top 70-68.
Sydney Parrish is an outstanding three-point shooter. 36% on the season. She continues to find herself wide open.
And a timeout. Iowa takes one as they trail here in the fourth quarter.
Moving the basketball around. Indiana doing a good job finding their open shooters. Dave O'Brien, I think you could make this one if you were wide open.
Oh, you're dreaming. ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is brought to you by Wendy's. 2 for $6. The best deal in fast food. Best place to be in college basketball today is right here at Carver Hawkeye Arena. And a dandy of a finish setting up here. Indiana has won 14 in a row. That's one shy of tying the program record. We talked about what Iowa has on the line. This Indiana team showing great mental toughness, along with other things like great balance. And out of the corner, Marshall will drop that one in.
That entire possession, Dave, she was over there clapping her hands like, I am ready and want the ball.
One of the great things about this matchup, you got a lot of players who want the ball.
Yeah.
That's going to be a foul. That will go against Indiana.
Gabby Marshall on the left side of the screen. Look at her. Hands ready. Hands ready. Hands high. Get me the basketball right into her shooter's pocket and able to drain the three. Her dad was on the flight with me last night, by the way, from Chicago. Delightful man, yes.
Clark needing 1 rebound, 2 assists for her 10th career triple-double. Clark will swing it. And close and one. Czinano getting it exactly where she wants it. So another assist for Clark.
What a well-designed play. Caitlin Clark coming off a double screen, and then Czinano just posting strong, finishing with the left and the and one. She doesn't usually show much emotion.
She was held to 6 points and in foul trouble when they met in Bloomington. She's really lived up to her preseason All-Big 10 selection.
Indiana has had an answer all game long.
Will that continue to be true? Parrish thought about another 3. Berger drawing a double. Now Marshall defending, and she goes down and loses the basketball. And Iowa clamping down defensively, leading by 4. 5 minutes to go. Iowa number 6, Indiana number 2.
Triple double coming at Caitlin Clark, and Holly mentioned it in the last huddle. Lisa Bluder told her team, don't turn it over, we've got timeouts. Clark just used one.
So we have a timeout. 5:04 to play. 74-70. Iowa leading Indiana. Case for some stars like Grace Berger, one of the great passers and ball handlers in the game, and Caitlin Clark. What can't she do? She is 1 rebound, 1 assist away from another triple-double. It should be the 10th of her career. Just amazing. Turned over. Here comes Indiana within 4 points. Parrish tried to swing it. Picked off. Davis will lay it in.
She double dribbled at midcourt.
I think maybe have gotten away with it.
She double dribbled at midcourt.
Morgan McNeil on the penetration. Yes.
And the poise of this Indiana team to answer when they need to answer, to quiet the crowd when they need to do so.
Boy, they've done it all day long. Iowa got shot out of a cannon to begin this thing, but Indiana came back, kept on coming back, eventually took the lead for a bit. They've been chasing most of the afternoon. Marshall beyond the 3. Davis. And Holmes there for the rebound. And the crowd hanging on every possession. here at Carver Hawkeye.
See Gabby Marshall just trying to deny anything back to Grace Berger once she gets rid of it.
Parrish on the attack. Yes, 2 more. Boy, she's had a big second half.
Yeah, not only hitting from 3, which is her bread and butter, but that time a great drive to the left side.
Came in averaging 12 points a game. Second half, she has 14. Davis trying to shred the D and will draw the foul. A 3:13 showing. A big Monday women's basketball matchup with Big 12 standings implications. Number 19 Texas and Baylor. That's in Austin. Longhorns 12-3. Tie with Oklahoma for first conference play. Coverage beginning at 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2 and the app. Parrish with the foul a moment ago. Here's Martin out high. He's had such a big impact on this one, and she's about to go to the foul line. Dave Martin was really, I thought, the first quarter story for the Hawkeyes, even more so than Caitlin Clark was. Arizona with a foul.
Yeah, so incredibly impactful. She just came back into the game, and as soon as she touches it, drives and gets to the free throw line.
Where she makes 82%. One of Iowa's 5 returning starters from last year's Big Ten co-champs. Let's go to Holly.
Well, Kate Martin is an absolutely wonderful story. She has had a relationship with Lisa Bluder since she was a tiny girl. She's been coming to Iowa Hawkeye camp since she was 5 years old. She's gone every single year since she was 5. She said it's a dream come true to be playing in black and gold. I never thought I'd be here, but every waking moment on the basketball court, I was working towards putting on this jersey, and here she is in one of the biggest games of her career, having a great game.
Dream come true, really.
You can see the passion with which she has played today. When she got in foul trouble, had to leave the game, she was fiery.
77-74, 19 points for Martin. So she has blown her season average away. Parrish has that one blocked. Still digging and draws the foul. Warnock was all over her. And commits foul number 3.
Last possession, you see your drive left. This time she goes right, misses, gets the offensive board, goes back up. It's so nice to have wings and shooters with size, and Parrish is that at 6'2".
Scalia getting ready to come back on now for Coach Morin. And it'll be Parrish at the line, a former Indiana Miss Basketball, the Oregon transfer. Had a slew of excellent games in her return to her home state, including one today.
What a showcase for women's basketball.
Totally.
From game day to the game, this has been awesome.
And it doesn't always live up to the hype, the game itself, but this one has in every conceivable fashion.
Yes, it has.
Wonderful thing when the stars play like stars. Warnock with a bounce feed, and yes. Sonano, the 6'3" grad, makes it 79-76.
Almost a big steal by Gabby Marshall. And you saw last time defensively, Indiana sent 2 at Caitlin Clark, just trying to get the basketball out of her hands, and Iowa still able to score.
This crowd has been a huge part of the narrative, haven't they? .220 left. Berger to Holmes. Yeah. And a whistle as well.
At the beginning of that play, there was a high on-ball screen by Mackenzie Holmes that just took Kate Martin out. And then when she rolled, she was open. So here, boom, runs right into it. That's why Mackenzie Holmes is so open when she goes to the basket.
Warnock with her 4th foul to put Holmes at the line with a chance to tie this game with a little more than 2 minutes. So we are dead even at 79. Warnock looking. Here's Clark. Clark on the drive, off balance. Oh, it spun out. Well, it was in the cylinder and kicked out. So now the Hoosiers can jump into the lead under 2 minutes to play. Grace Berger with a jumper. Around and out. Well, that one was inside. A couple of great players getting looks they wanted. It just wouldn't go down.
And I love the handoff play with Grace Berger, knowing that Czinano's going to have a hard time switching out on her.
So timeout with 1:43 on the clock. An official review here, 79-79. Screw that's done a really good job. Check on exactly what they were looking at. Checking out of bounds here.
Yeah, you can see that it goes off of Mackenzie Holmes' hands.
So it'll be Iowa basketball. Now you're talking about Indiana, you know, the depth that they have scoring-wise among the starters. You got 4 players today who are into double figures.
See 2, they're running 2 now at Caitlin Clark.
Clark outside the 3. Doesn't need a lot of room, that's for sure. Here's Martin.
What a pass.
Czinano commits to that play time and time again and gets it to go. 1:07 to go. Berger, Holmes, yes!
Keep going back to it, whether it's the on-ball screen or handoff between Grace Berger and Mackenzie Holmes. It's very hard for Iowa to defend.
81 apiece. This has been some game. Czinano went down and a whistle there in the paint. 48.7 showing.
You know I love the post play, so give me a little bit more. Beautiful pass by Kate Martin here. Wrap it around. Kids, learn how to do that. Feed your big inside, and then on the other end, screen, roll, bounce pass, finish. Fun basketball.
4 fouls now on Mackenzie Holmes. Czinano at the line. 77% foul shooter.
Much better effort from the line today, too, from Iowa. When these teams met last time, they missed 11 free throws in that game.
And the 6'3" grad makes both of those. And it's 83-81. Moore McNeil taking a tumble and fouled. Well, she and Clark, just like the last time, have been going toe to toe all afternoon.
And Moore McNeil, when she saw Clark in the air, she'd have just hoisted it at the basket so she could get 3 free throws.
Indiana will take a timeout. So we'll take the break. We're away for 30. 34.9 to go. The reset. They both have 2 timeouts to go. And Iowa has the possession arrow. And on top here at home, in front of a sold-out crowd, 83-81.
I'd be looking for that high middle ball screen between Mackenzie Holmes and Grace Berger. It's just a tough place for Monika Czinano to defend if she has to help off onto Berger, and then Berger can look for her mid-range jumper.
Officials hit the monitor again, setting up an outstanding finish. Caitlin Clark, 31 points, 9 rebounds, 9 assists. And Chloe Moore McNeil working on 16 points. came in averaging only 9 points a game.
So it was 5 fouls, so she gets 2 shots. Would Terry Morin have used that timeout if she knew her player was going to the free throw
It's a great
line?
play. I don't think so.
No. So fouls were listed wrong in the arena. That's big.
Yes.
She could end up needing that timeout in these last 35 seconds.
Absolutely. Lauren McNeil, 85%, outstanding at that line. Very cool there.
Forget the fact that she could have iced her own free throw shooter.
Right. 83-83, another timeout. Stick around. Had the wrong fouls up there on the scoreboard. Morin took the timeout, but think to yourself, it's one of the reasons your assistants need to be there for you.
Yeah, of course. But if you're making a quick decision there too, you know.
Sure.
But they still have 2. Iowa now with 1 after taking the timeout to advance.
So the Hawkeyes to put it in. So this one has a little bit of everything down the stretch. Caitlin Clark in a tie game, under 30 remaining to be played. Martin. Caitlin Clark, the All-American, taking her time. 11 on the shot clock. Martin looking up at that. Clark to make a move. Feeding inside, and that'll roll off the iron. 5 seconds to go, and a timeout. Indiana with 4.6 and an opportunity to get up a shot to win the game.
Czinano could not have gotten a better look for Iowa. This is a player who shoots 67% from the field. She gets her defender buried inside. Beautiful pass by Caitlin Clark. This is usually easy money for Monika Czinano. Great delivery. And that's how she's made her living, is shots like that.
Got everything they wanted there. She makes 67%. Just about all of them on shots like that. So take us inside the Indiana huddle here, Rebecca, and how does this play go?
Well, 4.6 seconds is a pretty good amount of time, and so you would expect Grace Berger to get the ball in her hands, but how do you do it? Do you start her in the backcourt, get it in, pitch it to her so she has her momentum going forward like we saw with Olivia Miles a week ago when Notre Dame was able to beat Louisville, or do you try to do a direct entry into Mackenzie Holmes and see if she can go to work?
But you'd be stunned if anybody else took that shot.
Without one of those players touching it first, yes.
83-83. And the Iowa fans packed into Carver Hawkeye will do everything they can to disrupt this final shot by the Hoosiers. Berger's going to put it in.
Direct entry.
Holmes with 2 seconds, spinning inside, and a whistle on the play. With 0.8 to go, and a foul.
Wow.
And Mackenzie Holmes about to go to the line in a tie game with less than a second.
Lisa Bluder wants a foul, a travel. It looked like she did shuffle her feet a little bit. Was there a foul there, Dave?
Czinano gets whistled for it. Holmes, the senior, makes 70% at the foul line. Tied at 83 apiece. And again, the officials going to the monitor. And you see Bluder there begging for a travel after the fact. Take a look.
Yeah, she traveled. But that's not what they're looking at. That's not something that they can review. They've called the foul. Right now what they're looking at to see if the 0.8 is the accurate amount of time.
This is still very hot about that one. And it looks like she had a right to be.
Yes.
Give you one more look.
Direct entry, inbound, get it to Holmes. She goes right here. Yeah, it was almost like when it looked like her right ankle went over a little bit. She had to get an extra step in there.
So they're going to reset the clock to 1.5. Indiana has been outstanding at the foul line. 14 out of 50. And again, Holmes makes 70%. And Indiana has the lead. And she has another foul shot to come. And she makes the pair. The Hoosiers lead it 85-83 in a timeout. So Holmes, ice water there at the foul line. We've been talking about this as a theme all day long. You know, when your stars show up and they play big time, and Holmes just did that. It'll be debated, that last call, for sure, if that's the last call.
But she did what she needed to do, and she got to the free throw line, and she was able to make both of them. And 1.5 seconds left when Caitlin Clark is on the team. You would imagine Indiana's going to send multiple people to her, maybe not play the inbound or try to keep it out of Caitlin Clark's hands. But Iowa also has a similar option that we just saw from Indiana. That's the direct entry into your big on the post, whether she's just got posting up or trying to get a screen to get her a look at somewhere in the paint.
No, with Caitlin Clark, all things are possible, even with 1.5 seconds to play.
Sounds like a Bible verse.
The sold-out crowd on the edge of their seat here today. It's been incredible. It's had a Final Four feel to it all afternoon. Got the #2 team in the country in Indiana. Well, certainly playing like a Final Four team, and Iowa as well, #6 in the land. Do they have a miracle? Can the Hawkeyes hit a miracle shot? If you're just joining us, our game summary. Caitlin Clark, what a game, seeking her 10th career triple-double. Kate Martin has been a big part of the story for Iowa with 19 points. Came in averaging about 7. But Indiana's had a great balance with 4 players with 16 or more. We've had 8 lead changes and 4 ties. And here we go.
And important to keep in mind, Iowa without timeout. So, number one, they've got to be able to get the ball inbounds within the 5 seconds.
So important who inbounds it. That's going to be Kate Martin here on the side. Keep your eye on number 22. Martin looking. Here's Clark. She fires. And it goes! She hit it! Wow! All things are possible when Caitlin Clark has the basketball. Like that. Iowa 86, Indiana 85 at the buzzer. Holy smokes. Well, I've always thought there are different levels of greatness. Just saw one here. Wow. Caitlin Clark catching and firing the triple at the buzzer, and Iowa knocks up Indiana 86-85.
Everyone in the gym knew who Iowa was trying to get the basketball to. Screen, another screen, more McNeil trying to get around, runs into Sonato, and just look at that, off balance, going to the right. Doesn't matter if everyone knows whose hands it's supposed to be in. Magic happens when magic happens, and we've seen it a lot with Caitlin Clark.
And a legendary career adds another page in the legend. Look at this reaction. And Indiana suffering a heartbreaking defeat Terry Morin. Been a couple of miracle finishes in this arena over the last 2 days. Let's go to Holly.
1.5 seconds left. How did you get open, first of all?
That's a play we work on every single day in practice. And to be honest, our first look was to get a layup at the rim because we knew they had to make the call. But I kept the ball, got to go up. But honestly, I make that in practice. So when we were in the huddle, that's what I was envisioning. You know, we never stop believing. That's what our group's about. So, you know, that was every single person. It doesn't come down to just that play. I'm glad I could step up, though.
When that leaves your fingertips, what's going through your head?
You know, honestly, I thought it was money. So when I saw it go through the rim, I was excited. But, you know, when I'm in here working by myself, those are the situations you put yourself in. And to be able to do it for this team on senior day against the #2 team in the country, you know, it meant a lot. So it's for our seniors more than anything.
That is for your seniors. Monica, a terrific game, battling her butt off in the post.
Yeah.
Warnock also battling. How did your seniors step up?
Yeah, I think, you know, they challenged Monica. Mackenzie Holmes is a terrific player. But, you know, the way Monica responded throughout the game and made some huge shots for us was pretty incredible.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Thanks, Holly.
So Holly Rowe goes, Caitlin, what did you think when it left your hand? She goes, honestly, I thought it was money. I love that. What a game.
An incredible performance. I mean, both of these teams are elite level teams, elite shooting teams. Both of these teams have ceilings that you would say are potential Final Four. But what an absolutely epic performance by Caitlin Clark this afternoon.
Some finish, huh? Caitlin Clark at the buzzer. Iowa 86, Indiana 85. San Antonio and Orlando next on ESPN. For Holly, Rebecca, and our entire crew, I'm Dave O'Brien. Time now for XFL. Tom Hart and Greg McElroy coming your way.